Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Kevin Cameron of Pittsburgh's DSEN and Soul Tape, the Pittsburgh sports talk show that comes to you every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Check us out. We talk about all Pittsburgh sports, major and hot sports topics. Today, Thursday, December 4th, 2025, I bring you the Pittsburgh Steelers practice report. To give you the rundown as far as what went down, first of all, the players that stood out today based on my observations, Calvin Austin. The Steelers really need to get their wide receivers going. Number 19 needs to find a way to be a factor in the game coming up in Baltimore, as well as Pat Frymuth. Where was Pat Frymuth the last game? He stood out in practice today. James Pierre should be back. He had a concussion. He practiced today, so I expect James Pierre to be good to go. Marquez Valdes-Scantling actually worked with the first team. That is very encouraging that he is getting first team reps. So that stood out during practice. Adam Thielen, who was picked up by the Pittsburgh Steelers off of waivers, he actually saw some first team reps as well, and he spoke to the media after practice as well. One of the questions I have for him was, how would he be able to help the team? Adam, you mentioned possibly making an impact. How do you feel that you could help this team?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, just really focused on what I can control, and that's learning this playbook as fast as possible. I want to make an impact today. I'm not even worried about Sunday right now. I want to make an impact today by being prepared, being mentally prepared and physically prepared. And at the end of the day, I'm a big believer that you got to go prove it every day. You can't show up somewhere and just be given an opportunity. You have to go prove what you can do, how you can make an impact, so then they believe in you and trust in you and can give you those opportunities. So for me, it's just going out there every day like I'm a rookie mini camp tryout guy and trying to prove what I can do and whatever they see that fit is. I'm ready for it.
I also asked him about the Baltimore Ravens, since he played a game already this year against Baltimore. How would that help him? I believe you played against the Ravens already this year. So is there anything you could take from that game that you played earlier that will help you this week?
Probably not. I mean, I'm sure there's things, but it's just
from a personnel standpoint, maybe the way certain players in the secondary might, use their technique from a coverage standpoint, anything such as that?
Yeah, no, there definitely is. I mean, I think it'd be different if you're like a quarterback or offense coordinator, things like that. As a receiver, like, they tell us what to do and you go do it. There's a little things that you can get from, like, okay, how guys play in press coverage and how they play off, but to be honest, I didn't play a whole lot in that game, so okay. So I don't really have too much tells from that.
Something else that stood out during practice, Cam Hayward was a full participant. Normally when I'm over here on Thursdays, he does not practice, and he practiced today. So that tells me that there's some different things that are going on over here with the Steelers. Hopefully those different things could change into some wins. So big ball game this Sunday. 2 6-6 teams will play. The Steelers as well as the Ravens, the AFC North. First place is on the line. One of the things that the Steelers need to do, matter of fact, I'll say it should be their first priority, is stopping the run. They need to do a better job stopping the run. The last game, they gave up, I believe, somewhere around 250 yards against the Bills. They can't let that happen this week against Baltimore. King Henry, the running back, he's a beast. Lamar Jackson is a beast in the running game as well. So I asked the defense coordinator, Terrell Austin, what changes would occur to stop the run. Cole Holcomb, number 55, saw some action last week. Does he expect Cole Holcomb to see more action this week to help stop the run? Coach, last week, Cole Holcomb came back from illness. How's he doing in general? And do you see that he'll see increased playing time this week to help stop the run?
He came back. He's been doing better since he's been back from the illness. He did see some playing time last week. And again, we'll base all that stuff on how the game goes. A lot of it will depend on, I think, PQ's availability and all those things in terms of what our role will be. But we'll handle those things out at the end of the week. But I think Cole's come back. He's doing, he seems to be back to almost 100%, feeling pretty good physically. And so we'll address those things. What his role will be at the end of this week, we'll determine that.
Also asked Terrell Austin about how does he balance the defense to stop the run as well as stop the tight ends in Baltimore. You can't forget about the tight ends. They have two very good tight ends on the offensive side of the ball. Offense coordinator Arthur Smith was asked about the lack of going downfield. What could be done to have an effective downfield game? It's been multiple games where the Steelers haven't had much success. He was asked about the wide receivers. Most of the time, they're not getting open. So what could be done with these wide receivers to get open?
Arthur, when we asked Aaron about the lack of deep ball success, just hasn't been a pass of 20 yards or further completed, I think, since week 9. He talked about the release at the line of scrimmage by the guys, running the right route and making the right throw. What have you been able to pinpoint as far as the reason why you guys have been able to get some of those bigger plays to click?
So some of it, you talk about third down opportunities, one-on-ones. I think the Chicago game, for example, we got a lot more single high. We took our shots. We didn't hit some of those go routes. And coverages and some of the stuff in the man when people are trying to pack the paint. We hit a big one to Roman. We had the one on the early third down that we didn't hit. So you got a problem. So you got to find ways as we're attacking things. You got to win one-on-ones if you get them, and things got to play off each other. If you want to hit them, the big shots, if it's off the play action, you need to be rolling in the run game. You need to have good spacing. You need to force them to sell out, or if you do it in the passing game, you got to hold up. So those are your options, and then depending on what you're attacking coverage-wise or matchup one-on-ones.
I thought practice looked good. I'm not sure why they practiced inside. Maybe it was because they really wanted everyone to not have to worry about the weather. They wanted everyone to focus in, get their assignments, and hopefully that will make a difference this week in Baltimore. Game is Sunday, 1 p.m. for the AFC North. The winner will look good as far as moving forward. The loser will be in a bad situation. So let's see what happens. Check out our Black and Gold post-game show live from Penn Hills, Cloud 33. Also on Sunday for 3 hours directly after the game. If you can't make it there in person, please watch here on YouTube or on our radio stream, Pittsburgh DSEN, PGHDSEN.com. This has been your Pittsburgh Steelers Practice Report.